Welcome to day one of the mindset reset. Today is where every transformation begins, and it has nothing to do with willpower, motivation, or how many strategies you've tried in the past. It begins with identity, who you believe you are when no one is watching, because nothing in your life can consistently outperform the identity you're operating from. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity. And the identity you've been living from up until today has shaped your habits, your patterns, your choices, your emotional state, your reactions, and your results. Today, that changes. Before we talk about massive growth, wealth mindset, discipline, consistency, or expansion, we start with identity because identity determines what you allow yourself to experience. If your identity is too small, your actions shrink. If your identity expands, your life expands. Your identity is the governor on your destiny. And right now, we are removing the limit. Let's be real. Most people don't choose their identity, they inherit it. In childhood, school, work, trauma, family, expectations, failures, fears. Your identity forms without you realizing it. You begin to believe things like, I'm not good enough. I'll always mess up. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not confident. I can't stick with things. Or success is for other people. And you start acting in alignment with those beliefs, not because they're true, but because they're familiar. Today isn't about judging your past identity, it's about taking ownership of your future one. Identity drives behavior. Behavior reinforces identity. It's a loop. Once you see the loop, you can break the loop. Every time you wanted to level up but felt stuck, it wasn't a strategy issue, it was an identity mismatch. You were trying to achieve a new reality with an old identity. And that's like trying to run new software on an outdated hardware. It crashes. So today we upgrade the hardware. I know this intimately. For years, I lived as the version of myself who was just trying to survive, overworked, underpaid, burnt out, feeling like I was constantly trying to stretch a single paycheck across an entire life. I wanted more, but my identity was still shaped by scarcity, fear, lack of direction, and low self worth. Even when opportunities showed up, I didn't believe I was the type of person who could seize them. So they slipped away, not because I wasn't capable, but because my identity hadn't caught up to my potential. You might be in that place now, wanting more, but not fully believing you're someone who can have more. Today, we begin the process of shifting that because once identity changes, everything else becomes easier. Discipline, consistency, confidence, wealth habits, success mindset, it all becomes natural. You don't have to force transformation when your identity is aligned with where you're going. Identity is deep work. It's emotional, cognitive, and subconscious. It activates belief, imagination, perception, decision making, and self trust. When identity shifts, your nervous system recalibrates, your emotional response matures, your patterns evolve, your thoughts rewire, your energy elevates, your behavior aligns, your destiny changes. So let me ask you a question you probably never answered honestly. Who are you right now? Not your name, not your job, not your relationship status. I'm talking about the identity that runs your life. Are you identifying as someone who barely gets by, someone who's always behind, someone who doubts themselves, someone who quits on their own potential? Or are you identifying as someone capable, powerful, consistent, trustworthy, and ready? Because whichever identity you've been living from is the one you've been reinforcing through your behavior. Your identity is always trying to prove itself true. And here's the empowering part. Identity is a choice. You can choose a new identity right now. You don't need permission. You don't need proof. You don't need to earn it first. You choose it first, then you grow into it. That's how transformation actually works. Now let's talk about aligned action. Identity shapes what feels normal to you. If your identity is I'm inconsistent, then staying consistent feels unnatural. If your identity is I always struggle, then abundance feels foreign. If your identity is I'm behind, then progress feels suspicious. But if your identity shifts to I am a disciplined person, I am a creator, I am someone who attracts opportunities, I am someone who follows through, then aligned action becomes effortless. You're not forcing behavior, you're expressing identity. Think about this. Every small decision you make casts a vote for the person you're becoming. One disciplined action, one moment of clarity, one courageous choice, one step toward expansion. one refusal to self-sabotage. Each vote strengthens your new identity. People think transformation takes years. It doesn't. It takes one decision repeated consistently. So today, we make the first decision. Your old identity is done. The identity shaped by fear, scarcity, insecurity, and limitations, it served its purpose, but it cannot lead your future. Today, you choose a new identity, the identity aligned with your highest potential, your deepest values, your strongest vision, your true self. Let's lock this in with clarity. Who is the version of you who already has what you want? How do they think? How do they speak? How do they hold themselves? What do they tolerate? What do they walk away from? What do they commit to? How do they handle pressure? How do they show up for themselves? What beliefs do they operate from? Your job isn't to figure everything out right now. Your job is to choose the identity of the person you're becoming and start behaving like them today. That's what makes transformation undeniable. So here's your challenge for day one. Step into your new identity now, not next week, not next month, not when you feel ready, now. Your old identity, the old you, cannot enter day two. This next version of you begins today, right now. I'm proud of you for being here. Let's make this the moment where everything changes. I'll see you inside of day two.